Good evening, hunters and little moths alike. It'd be time for me to commence with the first in our succulent series of lore-entwined webisodes. With that being said, allow me to not so meticulously regurgitate the fate that befell everyone's favorite Victorian metropolis of schlock galore. So, to shamelessly self-promote the opening track for our next album, welcome to Yharnam.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Well, not quite. But then again, considering Miyazaki's proclivity for cavorting with the offspring of the astral, the arcane, and the metaphysical, you never truly know. Tish-tosh aside, a congregation of Puritans decided that they wanted to take over the world like their favorite supervillains and reached an epiphany. Let's go explore that peculiar Thumerian labyrinth. You never know what you might find. And while no Minotaur was sighted, they certainly gave Perseus a run for his money with the discovery of the Kraken's winged cousin, Ebrietas, the daughter of the Cosmos, or some say Cosmos. So, by either displaying a sense of enthrallment befitting Don Juan de Marco, or by ordering a minibus, they transfer Madame, or perhaps Miss Ebrietas, to an apostolic structure where she just sits and procrastinates away, waiting for someone to come say hello. Then this audacious group of wanderers decide to up the ante a little more and make the brilliant choice or mistake, depending on whom you're asking, to amalgamate religion and government, and call themselves
the Healing Church.
And cowgirl the shit out of this bandwagon they did. So, we've got this tentacle-winged little thing in our basement. What happens if we somehow caught an STD off it? Since figuring out the gender was all too daunting a task for fornication purposes, they poked it with little sticks and convinced the most junior member to snort those expelled fluids. Upon realizing that Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was merely the moon presence having its David Bowie cross-dressing moments, the Healing Church indulged in the best acid trip since Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Of course, they did notice some tantalizing withdrawal symptoms rather quickly, with the need to shave their pubes becoming all the more frequent. Then there was the enhanced aggression, and the need to beat someone on the head every 10 seconds or so. But additional consumption of Ebrietas pulsating plasma seemed to alleviate those unsavory desires. After a spectacular Skype meeting with Frank Fontaine on the marketing procedures of Rapture, the Healing Church concocted a cocktail featuring the blood of Ebrietas and some of that sweet, sweet poison. They called this copulating concoction Ashen Blood. Distributing the latest in thing became quite a hit with the citizens, culling forth endorsement deals from Jay-Z and Beyonce, and even competitors like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Before long, this successor to LSD was out of stock at every available 7-Eleven, and the Healing Church was dominating Wall Street, beating out even the Umbrella Corporation. Shortly thereafter, the good old people began exhibiting traits far more volatile than the church's initial acid trip, which was perfect for the next product line to be announced: blood ministration. No longer would the church be giving out goodies in exchange for your hard-earned money. No, you would even get to bask in the presence of their divinity. Hence the additional 20% service charge. And all because...
Number one, we got a product the fellas gotta have.
The Healing Church and their revenue were henceforth skyrocketing in a manner not unlike Indonesia's inflation rates. Naturally, this process of ministrating took a not-so-unexpected turn when symptoms and side effects reached a flabbergasted high. Raping, rampaging, ravaging became the latest rage in the city. Recalling what happened during the Black Mesa incident,
It's not shutting down!
The Healing Church were pulling out, like an archetypal group's experiment gone wrong. Hence, they cordoned off this part of the city and conjured up their best Mad King impersonation to Yes, I left out the part on the powder kegs and whatnot, but that's another tale for another time. Thus, grasping the notion that they royally fucked up with the Ashen Blood product line, the Healing Church spent months in their research and development office, reinventing the wheel. Seeing that blood administration increased profit margins astronomically, and that they maintained a monopoly over all things pharmaceutical, they took to establishing clinics all over the rest of Yharnam, serving up a more refined variant of that addictive elder blood. With the Healing Church's reputation sealed as saviors of old Yharnam, the afflicted were lining up like the fanboys at the premiere of episode 1. Being fully aware of the repercussions of blood administration, and being disappointed that Maria and German had blocked them on Facebook, the Healing Church sanctioned their own little assembly of hunters, led by the ever-charismatic Ludwig. With its own Gestapo in place, denizens that became all too naughty with the onset of the Scourge of the Beast were handled with extreme care. Oh, there's another little fact that I might have overlooked. The Healing Church themselves were addicts that would put Jim Morrison to shame. Consequences of consuming such colossal doses were indeed quite extraordinary. And those that got a wee bit too blood drunk ended up in a subverted dimension called the Hunter's Nightmare, which was where every bloody hunter in Yharnam ended up. My oh my, and we thought Stratton Oakmont was bad. With their leader Lawrence off having a slumber party in the Hunter's Nightmare, the Healing Church began revising Yharnam's immigration policy. Green cards to anyone willing to help placate the ongoing anarchy. Social media exploded like a 40-year-old virgin and wannabe hunters came from every corner of the star system, only to get 1, wasted, 2, killed, 3, rage quit. That is, until the player character decides to finish the bloody game and rub it into the faces of all PC and Xbox users. I know, there's plenty of lore whoring I've chosen to omit. But, provided that this video generates a sufficient number of hits, there's room aplenty for additional content. Think of it as a DLC or something like that. So please, share, spread, and subscribe. We will make it worth your while. You might even enjoy it. With that being said, I shall bid you all farewell. Ta-ta for now.